moments of preparation for Louisville quarterback Lamar Jackson, trying to maintain his spectacular play with a lot of pressure tonight. Number 5 Louisville has come on the road to take on a real talented Houston team. It's senior night. It's a sellout crowd. There's all kinds of emotion here in Houston. It's their biggest game by far of the season. Houston's got its own super talented quarterback to try to match Lamar Jackson. Greg Ward Jr. has been banged up all year long. It's a big part of the story of tonight's game, his status. And as we get ready to go in this great matchup, let's get a little more on Greg Ward's status for tonight with Laura Rutledge.
Well, that's right, Dave. Greg Ward Jr. has been dealing with an injury to his throwing shoulder almost the entire season, and he re-injured it last week. He also has a left ankle injury, but he said it doesn't matter how much pain he's in. He is going to play in this game. There were no other choices. This is Houston's Super Bowl, and they say they play their best with a chip on their shoulder. Tom Herman said it. They're not great at being the overdog, but they thrive in being the underdog. Greg Ward is ready to prove that tonight.
All right, Laura, thanks. We look forward to the matchup of quarterbacks of teams. There's so much on the line. Hi, everybody. Dave Fleming alongside Jesse Palmer. Playoff committee, welcome. We assume you're watching tonight. If you're not, frankly, you probably shouldn't be on the playoff committee. This is a huge game. Number 5, Louisville, best offense in the country, prohibitive Heisman favorite Lamar Jackson. He's just been spectacular, and yet a chance for a state. I don't think there's any question, Jesse. Louisville's going to be at the center of the debate in that playoff committee room.
Yeah, and obviously, Dave, the greatest challenge for the selection committee to determining the playoff is balancing teams' resumes versus the eye test. For Louisville, from a resume argument, they can't make a great one today versus other teams in the top 4 right now. Their schedule hasn't been as tough. They have a head-to-head loss already against Clemson. There's a good chance they're not even going to play in the ACC championship game, but the greatest statement they make, greatest argument, they pass the eye test. They are a complete team on offense and defense. What makes them unique? That guy right there. They have Lamar Jackson. He is a Mike Vick, Cam Newton-esque talent that single-handedly can impact games like very few others we've ever seen. Certainly recent modern college football times. He can change the output and put a stamp, not only in the Heisman Trophy, not only on his team's chances of making it with him. I think they're good enough to beat anyone in the nation, including Alabama. So do they look the part? Are they deserving? What an opportunity they have tonight in front of the selection committee, a nationally televised audience against their toughest non-conference opponent, to make that statement. We are playoff worthy. We deserve to be in the top 4.
Lamar Jackson and Louisville get ready for kickoff here in front of a sold-out crowd. This game has been sold out for months. Houston was hoping that this was going to be a game where they would make a case to be in the playoff. And even though a couple stumbles along the way, they've got the talent to interrupt Louisville's run and give the Cardinals some real problems. Houston won the toss. They have deferred, so that means we're going to see Lamar Jackson on the field right away. Dave Fleming, Jesse Palmer, Laura Rutledge, and we can't wait. There is a lot on the line on both. Houston's still got an outside shot to play for a conference title and play for a New Year's 6 bowl game. Here we go. Malik Williams from the end zone is going to bring it out for Louisville. And Williams runs into his own man and fumbles the ball. Another fumble for the Cardinals. It's been a problem all year long. And what a start for Houston. Williams is down. The Cougars have the ball inside the 15-yard line.
And I think his own player helped cause this fumble. I think Malik Williams just ran into the back of Jeremy Smith, number 34, and the ball pops out. Watch this. It's kind of 3 blockers set up in front of him, and he just kind of bumps into his own guy, and that dislodges the ball. And Houston right there to jump on the recovery. Turnovers were such a big component of last year's game between these two. Remember that? Houston ended up winning the turnover battle 4-0. Big reason why they won that game. And already early, a huge turnover. But what a start. Could not have asked for a better one if you're Tom Herman, Greg Ward Jr. in Houston.
So now we'll see if the Cougars can take advantage of the turnover. They're going to start right around their own 14-yard line, or the Louisville 14-yard line. 5 seconds in, Houston has the ball on the special teams turnover. Greg Ward Jr., who has been beat up. We heard from Laura about all the problems he's had physically. With the fake on the jet sweep, and he'll hit his man in the flat toward the end zone. Catalyze, touchdown! down. And we'll make sure that he actually got in the end zone. But there's no question, Jesse, a statement early. Louisville's got their hands full tonight.
No doubt about it. Checking out Catalan here on the sideline. Feet in bounds. Ball over the line. Yes, sir. That's a touchdown. Nice little play call. A little misdirection, faking the jet sweep, and then sneaking Duke Catalan, who has outstanding hands as a running back. One play kickoff, recover a fumble, one play on offense, 6 points on the board.
13 yards, touchdown pass from Ward to Catalan. Extra point is up and good. 11 seconds in. The Cougars are in the end zone.
I like being aggressive right after a turnover. You take a shot, sudden change scenario. You don't keep the ball on the ground running it. Fake a little jet sweep. Nice job breaking contain and just wide open Catalan in the flat. Able to beat Keith Kelsey to the pylon. We talked about it. That's as good a start for this Houston team. We talked about how Tom Herman does such a great job getting this team to play up. Every time the last 2 years they've had to play a Power 5 opponent, they've come out on fire.
They've been an underdog only 4 times in 2 seasons under Tom Herman. They've won all 4 of those games. And we're talking about against Louisville last year, against Florida State in the Peach Bowl, against a top 3 Oklahoma team at the beginning of this year. And they are into Houston football these days in this great football city. Travion Samuel, not Malik Williams, who got hurt, is back, and that one will go through the end zone for a touchback. And 11 seconds later than we thought, we're going to see Lamar Jackson in the Louisville offense.
And he's the perfect weapon at quarterback. 6'3", can see the field, tremendous arm talent, very accurate throwing it downfield. Probably the fastest player on the field. Unbelievable acceleration. You see that 46 total touchdowns? That's more than 15 teams currently ranked in the top 25. That's why right now he's far and away the front runner for the Heisman Trophy.
It was a relatively quiet game for Lamar Jackson last week. And will get it snapped properly and handed off to the tailback, Brandon Radcliffe, who's coming off a big game, and he had nowhere to go against a talented defense that has its hands full.
Yeah, it's the #1 offense in the country. Lead the nation in total yards. They lead the nation in scoring with almost 50 points a game. It starts with Lamar Jackson, certainly, but there is a lot of skill at the running back position and at the wide receiver position. Trust me, Houston's defense, they got their hands full tonight.
2nd and 14. Jackson with the play fake. On the run, Lamar Jackson will dump it short, and he's got the pass complete. That's James Quick, part of a very talented Louisville wide receiver group.
And this is a good defense, Houston, on 3rd down. They like to bring exotic pressures, and that's really the name of the game for Houston. They're aggressive. They blitz. They're generally going to bring 5 guys. The problem is determining where it's coming from. They bring linebackers, safeties, corners, trying to confuse the offensive line, trying to confuse the quarterback. Did a good job of that in this game last year against Louisville. See if they can dial up some heat here on the 1st, 3rd down.
3rd and 7. Here comes some pressure picked up. Jackson will throw incomplete. And Lamar Jackson, a little miscommunication, I think, between quarterback and receiver. It's 4th down. Bobby Petrino talking to his quarterback. What a start for Houston. Louisville fumbles the opening kickoff. First play, they go into the end zone. Their defense forces a 3 and out. Colin Wilder is the punt returner tonight. And that's a booming punt. Wilder on the move, got his hands on it, and it went out of bounds. An excellent punt by Mason King. So it won't be great field position for Greg Ward Jr. in Houston.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of what Major Applewhite, their offensive coordinator, does with respect to play calling. He sets things up very well. It gives you a very simple, basic play early in the game. Here against Oklahoma, simple swing pass to Duke Catalan. Later in the drive, they're going to fake the swing pass to Duke Catalan. Now they add a wrinkle, the wide receiver screen backside. So a little bit of misdirection, keeping the defense off balance. Now early in the 2nd quarter, you fake the swing pass to Duke Catalan. You've shown that already. Now you fake the screen down low to the wide receiver. Now you've got a slot receiver and Bonner going down the field on a go. A nice back shoulder throw. Major Applewhite does a great job lulling you to sleep and then adding wrinkles to hit big plays.
Another catch for Duke Catalan on first down. We may see him out of the backfield as a receiver more than we see him as a ball carrier tonight.
They've got to be very creative with how they use Catalan. They have not been a good running team, so there's different ways. Lining him up at receiver, throwing him swing passes, getting him in jet sweeps, getting the young, talented Texas transfer out in space.
He goes wide to the left. They will like to play with quick tempo as well. Ward, who's got that speed, got close to the first down. We'll see where they spot the ball. I think he's about a half a yard short.
Greg Ward has been such a warrior this year. Pass protection has been abysmal here in Houston. This guy is running for his life. Laura told us early, he's playing with a bunch of injuries, never complains, throws under duress. He's their leading rusher. They need him to be big tonight.
They let him run on 3rd and a yard, and he gets the Houston first down.
They need these quarterback runs. This has not been a physical run-blocking offensive line. They're small. They average only about 289 pounds per player up front. They can't really push guys around, so it's critical tonight. But when Houston's running it, they take advantage of the extra blocker and let Greg Ward go do what he does.
First down, Cougars. It does get nice and quiet in here for the home offense. Receiver in motion. They will flip it to that receiver on a jet sweep type play. Louisville read it well.
Yeah, this is a very good Louisville run defense. They are stout up the front and in the middle. They've got D linemen that can eat up blocks. They can shed guys off and penetrate. And they've got linebackers that can run and fill gaps. Right now, teams trying to run against the Cardinals, you average 2.8 yards a carry. That's all you get. It's going to be tough sledding for Houston tonight.
Yeah, their defense just gets totally overlooked because of Lamar Jackson and the offense. They've been excellent. The true freshman Keith Corbin who took that pitch from Ward. Now the tight end will shuffle. Still 8 seconds on the play clock. They hand it off to Catalan. Nice cut. And Catalan still on his feet with some tough running, gets the first down.
This is what I love about Catalan. At 6 feet tall, 210 pounds. We talked about how good his hands are, but he's a good, tough runner that can move the pile. You saw the cut. He's taking on 2-3 Cardinal defenders and falling forward.
I mean, the numbers are pretty modest for a guy they thought had a chance to have a huge season. He's not been healthy, just like his quarterback. And we'll see. He's feeling pretty fresh tonight, I think, against this talented Louisville team. Ward's going to take off again. Greg Ward Jr. is looking frisky here in the early going.
Well, he's got a good internal clock. I think he respects just how good Louisville's pass rush is, and he knows behind this shaky offensive line, he doesn't have a lot of time to get to his second and third progression.
They're going fast. 2nd and 6. Hand the ball off. Straight ahead running. Just not a lot of room there. Maybe a yard. Maybe. Well, it has been a tale of 2 seasons for Houston. Cougars were 5-0. They moved up to number 6 in the country. They're 3-2 since then. Allowed a lot of points. The turnover margin has not been in their favor. This has been much sloppier than we're used to seeing from this Houston team.
Cat and mouse game here. Looked like Louisville was bringing pressure from the left side of Houston's formation. They took their time, and now Louisville has adjusted their defense.
Get the play, snap 3rd and 6. Ward. And that one was dropped. Just when we were talking about Stephen Dunbar's strong hands, I think that was probably going to be a first down. Instead, it's incomplete.
No, I think so, too. And he was able to separate from the defender. And if he had hauled that in, then I agree, Dave. I think he would have got that first down and a lot more. Good job by Ward sliding in the pocket and putting the football out in front of his intended receiver.
Got to catch that one.
No doubt.
So 4th down. Dane Roy back on the field, the Houston punter. Another high punt, another fair catch signal. Alexander has it at around the 17-yard line. So when we come back, the Heisman favorite, he has been the most spectacular player in college football this season, Lamar Jackson. You got a lot of choices when you're looking for Lamar Jackson highlights. He's on the field when we return to Houston. I think it's pretty unique for an up-tempo spread kind of offense. They use their tight ends a lot. They use extra offensive linemen. They do all that gaming on the line. Lamar Jackson, perfect strike right over the middle into the open field and still going across midfield. A big gain for the sophomore Jalen Smith.
Jalen Smith has really been coming on these last 3 games now. 6'4", 210 pounds, and has ridiculous speed. He is a legit deep threat that can separate from cornerbacks and make something happen after the catch. Right now, he's averaging 22 yards of reception. That's 3rd in the nation.
And guess how long that reception was for? 22 yards. That's his average play on the season. Jackson, a little hesitation, now trying to improvise, and he will just throw the ball away. Now, Tom Herman is arguing that he was still inside the tackle box. I don't think he was.
Houston's having success blitzing Brandon Wilson, the nickelback, and he's had opportunities to affect Lamar Jackson. He's coming from the top of your screen here. He's got a lot of speed, and this coaching staff believes that Brandon Wilson, who's an excellent kick returner, played a little bit of running back last year, he has the speed to run with Lamar Jackson. They feel good about their blitz packages tonight.
2nd and 10. Radcliffe again, and he gets tackled. The ball's on the turf, still loose. And Hicatini, the tight end, was there, but he could not fall on it. And Houston's got it. Ed Oliver led the way. And it's another Louisville turnover.
We talked about the impact true freshman, Ed Oliver, and the quickness off the snap. He's the one that's going to force this fumble. Watch how fast he comes out of his stance. He's able to penetrate in the backfield. Here he is, number 10. He gets across the face of the center, Hughley. Ball pops out on the tackle. That's his 17.5 tackle for a loss on the season. Very few true freshmen have impacted their team the way young Ed Oliver has.
2 lost fumbles already tonight. We're still in the first quarter. That's 19 lost fumbles
Giving his
on
first
the year.
sideline warning.
And Bobby Petrino got a sideline warning. He was hot. I think there should have been a face mask call, maybe helping to force that fumble.
We'll see right now, after the sudden change situation, if Major Applewhite, the offensive coordinator, decides to take a shot again. Remember, after the fumbled opening kickoff, they threw it right away to Catalon for a score.
It's 1st and 10, Houston in Louisville territory. Ward with pressure coming, going deep. He's got a man, and incomplete. His receiver was open. That was Isaiah Johnson.
Going back and taking a look at the Ed Oliver play on the forced fumble, was it or was it not a face mask? The hand kind of got up close to the cage of Ratcliffe. We see kind of grabbing jersey underneath the chin guard there. Clean play, clean tackle.
I mean, it was almost like a clothesline. That's how strong he is. And you could see why, from his perspective, maybe Bobby Petrino thought there was a penalty there, but there wasn't. So 2nd down. That was a chance for a big play and a Houston touchdown. Ward fakes the dump pass and runs it to get back to the line of scrimmage.
This is a really big possession, though, for Louisville's defense. Sudden change, how critical it is to see if you can force a 3 and out. That's bad news for Louisville. That's James Hearns, who already has a sack in this game, down on the ground. And there's another player on the ground, too. I think that's Stacy Thomas, their starting middle linebacker.
Yikes. That sort of sums up how this one's gone for Louisville so far. We'll be back after this. 2.5 minutes to go, first quarter. 3rd down, Houston. Greg Ward Jr. on the move. And he's going to throw on the move. It is caught. Nice play by Chance Allen coming back to the ball. 1st down inside the 15.
Phenomenal job in the scramble drill. And I really think Houston's wide receivers have been really good at this all season long. When Greg Ward's going to flush out to his right, you're going to see receivers break off their routes and fight back to the football.
Big conversion. Ward running it. Will duck under a tackle and get just a couple of yards. Stacy Thomas there.
This is where Greg Ward's really been good as a runner this year. Again, inside the red zone, because the offensive line is not physically dominant. They need the extra blocker. You've seen Greg Ward. A lot of his touchdown runs have come from about inside the 15, inside the 10-yard line.
2nd and 9, Houston. Can get a 1st down at about the 2. Ward takes a big hit and goes down. D'Angelo Brown has just had a tremendous year.
No, he's been living in people's backfield. At 6 foot, 310 pounds, he's low to the ground and plays with great leverage, and he's able to get tremendous push. And in a game like this against a mobile quarterback, you see the quick explosive spin move. You can collapse the pocket north-south and force Greg Ward to have to run east-west. That's the key.
He gets credit for another tackle for a loss, and he just beat the center Will Noble in a flash. So it's 3rd and 14. Field goal range. Ward squares those shoulders. Here comes a penalty flag. That's going to be a hold against Houston, and Ward will throw the ball away. We'll see what Louisville decides. Do they push him back, maybe more borderline field goal range, or accept 4th down? Not an easy decision.
Now the concern is because of Greg Ward. If you push them back and give him another chance with his scrambling ability, maybe he can get it.
Holding. Number 51 of the offense. Penalties decline. 4th down.
And I like the call by Bobby Petrino there. Look, you just had a turnover on offense. You gave the football back to Houston in your own territory. And you kind of limit the bleeding by setting up a field goal attempt, not making it any worse. I think it's a good call by Petrino.
I think you said it, David. Greg Ward just can be so dangerous. You give him another shot, even if it's a long shot, you're taking a risk. So Ty Cummings, who's been good, not great, 10 of 14. He's got the leg. This one will be from 33 yards. And the kick is good. So the big 3rd down conversion got Houston into scoring position. They capitalized with the field goal. And the Cougars up 10 against the 5th-ranked Louisville Cardinals. But it was definitely a story yesterday as Louisville traveled here to Houston to get ready for this game. That's a touchback. 10-0 Houston, and straight ahead running out to about the 19-yard line. A gain of 4 for Jeremy Smith.
Yeah, and that's okay. See, that time the linebacker decided to take Lamar Jackson away right up the middle of the field. Watch this. He's going to freeze. Number 8, no, you're not going to be the one that beats me. I've got a defender behind me in linebacker Stephen Taylor. He can make the tackle on the running back. That's sound defense, I think, against this zone read attack for Louisville.
And that is a little different than the way they played it the first few snaps of this game. That ball was tipped, and it's incomplete. Across the middle. Now Louisville, I think, was hoping for some sort of targeting call. That will be the final play of the first quarter.
Guess who made the tip? Ed Oliver, the true freshman nose guard, who's having a monster first quarter.
He's got a knack. That's the 7th time he's done that this year, more than any other defensive lineman in college football. Another remarkable number for Big Ed Oliver. The Cougars came to play tonight after 1 quarter at home against the 5th-ranked Louisville Cardinals. It's 10-0 Houston.
Ambitious.
Houston at home against number 5 Louisville. Start of the 2nd quarter. Cougars already leading 10-0. And Lamar Jackson of Louisville facing a 3rd and long. 3rd and 16. Pressure comes up the middle. Jackson will throw the ball away. More good defense from Houston. Good coverage, good pressure, and they didn't let Jackson get away.
Yeah, and a nice job by defensive coordinator Todd Orlando mixing up the ways he's trying to bring pressure. We've seen a lot of conventional blitzing. This was not a blitz. This is just stunning and twisting guys inside, guys outside, creating confusion up front. And then the speed of this Houston defense able to corral Lamar Jackson on the sideline.
And I don't know if you could notice in that replay, Jackson started to look right. Ed Oliver was standing there, and he went the other way. Now, who knows if he really identified that, but I would run away from number 10, too, the way he's playing tonight. Booming punt. Man, Mason King is having a heck of a first half. This one a little more returnable, and a good move with a block to the 45, upended at the 45. Colin Wilder. Good field position for Houston. Let's check in with Laura.
Dave, watch for outside linebacker for Louisville, James Hearns. He's dealing with a very painful lower back injury and has been trying to loosen it up, but he keeps pointing to his lower back and saying sharp pain to the athletic trainers.
Yeah, Laura, that would be a big loss for this defense. He's been such a good pass rusher opposite Devontae Fields, number 92. So James Hearns looks like he's toughing it out, back out on the field now. Certainly great news for this front seven of Louisville.
Oh, a 58-yard punt. Mason King is helping bail out the Louisville offense right now. Still good field position for the Cougars. Hearns on the field. We'll see if he can hang in there. First down, play fake. Ward throws, his man is open, perfect delivery. First down, Houston, Stephen Dunbar.
And get Greg Ward away from behind the offensive line. Move the pocket, change the launch point so that Louisville's defense cannot just pin their ears back and get after their quarterback.
They'll swing that one out to Catalan. Tried to get that block on the edge. Got spun out of bounds.
That's interesting. A big injury in this game. Louisville playing without Josh Harvey-Clemens in the nickel, and he was a major component of this defense. At 6'5", 228 pounds, close to the line of scrimmage, he could blow those swing passes and those bubble screens up. He's a Georgia transfer that was playing safety at the start of the year. NC State, they moved him closer to the line of scrimmage. Without him in this game, it's opening up these outside passing options for Greg Ward.
Yeah, and you mentioned his size. They do miss that size and physical nature. This throw, a slant, dropped again. That's Dunbar's second drop in the first half.
And these are contested throws. They're good coverage on the back end by Louisville, but those are throws that you have to come up with. We talked about one of the advantage they had in this game was outside at wide receiver with the size and the length. And now that drop sets up a 3rd and long situation. You're Louisville, you've got to contain Greg Ward here in the pocket because he likes to try and get out and create.
Even with a quick tackle, you're probably looking at 3rd and 4, maybe 4 down territory now. 3rd and 13. Going deep, incomplete. He overshoots Isaiah Johnson. And there was contact, but the officials are saying that ball was not catchable.
I think Jair Alexander, we talked about being one of the better young corners, I think not just in the ACC, but in the country. He's got tremendous speed. Ball, I think, was way out of range. There certainly was contact, got the arms wrapped around the shoulder, but I think a good no call by the referees here. And you see Alexander now back to return the punt.
Well, that was a big drop. That impacted the play call, the sequence. Houston's going to punt it again. Dane Roy, and they're faking it. The throw completed. First down. That was pretty remarkable. Byron Simpson, a tight end on special teams. And that was a heck of a pass.
Well, it was an unusual formation. Look at this. He's snapping right here. Everybody's lined up on that side. He's an eligible receiver because he's the end man on the line of scrimmage. Little trickeration by Tom Herman, the head coach, taking advantage. Louisville was completely fooled by that formation. And how about the throw by Dane Roy, the true freshman from Australia? Doesn't do that a lot, Australian rules rugby football. You can't throw it forward.
Well, Louisville fans can't believe it. That one was dropped in perfectly. So Greg Ward and the offense, they get to stay on the field. Pressure, the throw, caught by Catalan. What a delivery from Ward, taking the hit.
Another wrinkle. We saw a similar movement on offense from the earlier touchdown pass to Duke Catalan. Really, I remember a fake handoff rolling out to the left. This time they sneak Catalan out the other side on a wheel route. And a huge hit there by Devontae Fields.
Yeah, he put a lick on Greg Ward, who popped up. A gain of 16. First down inside the 15. And fake it to Catalan. Ward. That one is tipped and caught on the ricochet. Catalan's second touchdown, and that one took some magic.
Just how you draw it up if you're Houston offensively. Right, you've got pressure from Chris Williams, the defensive end, forcing Greg Ward to flush out of the pocket. You see 44, flushes him out. He's going to throw this back across his body, almost picked up by Jair Alexander. Falls right into the hands of Duke Catalan for his second touchdown catch of the night.
Yeah, we got a long way to go, but that's when you start to think for Louisville, maybe it's not their night. Extra point is good. And the 5th-ranked team in the country is in big-time trouble. It is 17-0. So it all started with the fake punt. And Dane Roy, that's a pretty good pass for a punter for the conversion on 4th and long. And then a couple plays later, the bounce goes right to Duke Catalan. Everything going the Cougars' way. It's 17-0. Meanwhile, on the sideline, Kyle Allen, who's sitting out the year, the quarterback transfer, highly regarded from Texas A&M. And the punter, Dane Roy, who looked like the 5-star quarterback on the fake punt.
Yeah, he's 27 years old, so he's got a bit of a different maturity level. Handled the pressure on that play great.
17-0 Houston. Man, Louisville looking to make a statement tonight, now just trying to survive. Louisville, first down, going downfield again into coverage. I think Jackson smartly just kind of threw that one away. so far not as smooth as we're used to seeing from the highest scoring offense in the country. Ed Oliver in there again, and Jackson's going down. My goodness, they just can't stop him.
Well, that time nobody wanted to block him for Louisville. If there's anybody you need to block, it's this guy. Watch, he just no one even gets a hand on him. The remarkable thing about Ed Oliver also, you know, for a true freshman is the stamina. He never comes off the field. Normally, players right out of high school, they're hitting the wall. Week 9, week 10, week 11. Not this guy. He's playing his best football here in the biggest game of the season.
Third and 19. Pressure. Jackson throws short. Dropped by Samuel.
Give Houston defensive coordinator Todd Orlando a ton of credit. He is doing a great job right now mixing up his looks. He's mixing up the pressures where they're coming from. They're showing blitz pre-snap. They're backing out post-snap. And they've got Lamar Jackson in this Louisville offense right now completely fooled and completely on their heels.
So another punt for the Cardinals. Mason King to Wilder. Fair catch at the 26-yard line. Well, Lamar Jackson, I mean, he is the most spectacular player in the country. We're going to be talking a lot about number 10 this year, next year, the year after. Man, is Ed Oliver good. Dominating in the first half for Houston. Well, it is college hoop season. Our old friend Bill Raftery, he's found a new favorite college football team. The kiss from Tom Herman. Every player coming into the locker room gets one from their head coach. We talked to him about it before. He wants everybody to know how much he cares about it before they suit up and head out on the field. Speaking of suiting up, Ed Oliver, the jersey's taking some punishment. He's inflicting punishment. My goodness. Phi Slamma Jamma for Houston on the football field tonight. Greg Ward waited for Chance Allen to come open and completes the pass for a first down. The Cougars already up 17-0, getting the ball back. The quick turnover, first play from scrimmage, touchdown after a couple of punts, a field goal, and then the fake punt led to another touchdown.
And led to very good field position also for this Cougar offense.
Catalyze in motion. Ward kind of pivots around, buying some time, will throw it away.
Listen, Houston knows they have to throw the ball to win this game, right? They haven't been a good running offense. Louisville, one of the better run defenses in the nation. So if Houston's going to win, Greg Ward's going to have to make plays throwing to the intermediate level, the deep level of the field, and probably over the middle of the field against this defense, attacking some of the soft spots in zone coverage. He's been phenomenal tonight. Remember, he's also had a couple drops. Those numbers should be better, but a quarterback who's been the leader, not playing at 100% with 2 different injuries, been pretty good so far.
Take away the Ward runs. They've handed the ball off 2 times in this game. Of course, Louisville's got nothing going on the ground. Part of that is the sacks. Out to Catalyze again. He's got that speed, and he's got some power too. Catalyze, first down.
He's been a different player to me ever since he's been a little bit more healthy. He got nicked up early in the year, had a concussion against Texas State, missed 3 games. But ever since SMU, he just looks like he's running harder and fresher. We talked about how big he is and his balance and his ability to just bounce off. That's Keith Kelsey. I mean, that's a big-time NFL future linebacker who leads the team in tackles that can't bring him down. And those swing passes to him. It's been a big weapon tonight.
He's caught 6 passes already in this game. He's got 2 touchdowns. A little shoulder fake from Ward. And again, he's got to get rid of it.
Major Applewhite, the play caller for Houston, is digging deep into his bag here. He's shown you 3, 4, 5 different looks off of the swing pass. There's Major Applewhite right there. Listen, he knows he's limited. His offensive line can't allow him to have the quarterback hold on to the football very long. You can't run between the tackles, and he's just dialing things up right now to the perimeter of the field, trying to take advantage of what he's got. Masterful job so far.
Todd Grantham and the Louisville defense trying to adjust. Just across midfield, 2nd and 10. Isn't it amazing the difference when the defense is on the field, how loud it gets, and now with the offense out there. That throw a little high, incomplete. Trying to get the ball to Dunbar. So they know their football year. Get loud for the defense, stay quiet so the offense can communicate.
Nice job with the tempo there. Kind of lining up quickly, trying to get Louisville to show their hand. They were showing pressure. And now an opportunity for the coaching staff to signal in a brand new play. Try and handle this blitz.
Greg Ward, that little shoulder shrug. What is that signal you're trying to give me? Play clock at 2. Ward will throw. It is caught. Now that's a heck of a catch by Linnell Bonner.
That's going to be really close to the first down marker. Linnell Bonner, who's been so good for this offense on third down all season long. They're going to give him the first down and move the chains.
And they will get the ball snapped, yeah, before, and I think it was a first down, but before they had a chance to look at it, Catalyze straight ahead running.
So important to get the inside zone play established if you're Houston. They haven't been able to do it all year, but that is their attitude downhill run play, and they like to use tempo and get it dialed up. When you can start gashing the defense for 4 or 5 yards on that inside run, that makes your job on Greg Ward and the rest of this offense so much easier.
Catalan's been working hard. He comes out. Dylan Burden is in at tailback. Ward steps up, scrambling. He's got some of that Lamar Jackson running ability. Another Houston first down.
Yeah, that time there was a D lineman that just came right through. I think it was Famarua, number 96, just right here. Breaks into the backfield. And Greg Ward was a former wide receiver here at Houston. You can see his ability and speed and acceleration, how dangerous he can be in space.
He just hasn't been healthy enough to put up the big rushing numbers this year, but he's certainly capable. Already leading 17-0 on the move again. He ducks under another hit.
Yeah, and what Houston's doing now is keeping Lamar Jackson off the field. That's what Duke had success with. That's what Wake Forest had success with. You know, Houston's offense, they're ninth in the nation in time of possession. And they can do a good job. They can slow the tempo down too and kind of dink and dunk you and run a little bit and keep drives extended. Keep your best player on the bench.
I mean, it is a good point. And the difference tonight, unlike Wake Forest, Houston, they've dominated the plays, the time of possession, and they're capitalizing with points. This throw with a man open, caught right near the goal line, tackled just short. Linnell Bonner again, it'll be first and goal.
Yeah, moving the pocket, trying to get Greg Ward away from pressure. Hits Bonner on the smash route. Here's what Houston likes to do. When they get a big explosive play, they go tempo, they go fast. Expect quarterback run here.
Ward all alone in the backfield. Looking for a fade with contact. Jump ball incomplete. Coverage by Tremaine Washington.
Kind of the game within the game, right? These tall receivers for Houston outside with height advantages. These shorter corners. That time Tremaine Washington only 5'10". He gives up about 5 inches in height to the bigger Dunbar, but really good coverage on the outside.
Second and goal. Catalan. Touchdown.
With the power running by Catalan. He basically just ran over a defensive line. I think that was Chris Williams before extending the football over the plane. Been a different runner ever since he's been a little bit healthier. Certainly playing extremely motivated here tonight. As good a start as you could have wished for if you're Tom Herman and the Houston Cougars in every facet. Offense, defense, and special teams.
12 plays, 73 yards, another touchdown. With the extra point up and good. And for the Louisville Cardinals, whose only loss was that close loss on the road at Clemson, this is their biggest deficit of the season, and they're in trouble. Cougars with the 24-0 lead. Well, Lamar Jackson in Louisville, he's going to have to play like the Heisman favorite that he is. They are down 24-0 on the road.
And Dave, they're missing a big opportunity here tonight. Remember, everyone's upset that they're number 5, not inside the top 4. They had a chance to do something about that tonight. Nationally televised game, the selection committee watching, the world watching, a chance to prove that you belong in the top 4. And just tonight, they have not been able to handle the noise. They haven't been able to handle the adversity. They're getting outplayed in all 3 phases of the game.
Forget statement. Now it's about somehow finding a way to survive. A shorter kickoff this time. Louisville will return it. With the cutback out across the 25, close to the 30. Let's go down to Laura.
Well, Dave, not only is Lamar Jackson trying to get something going on the field, but he's also breaking up fights on the Louisville sideline. It's getting very tense down here. He's trying to calm everyone down. Also, quarterbacks coach Nick Petrino talking to Lamar Jackson about clapping louder before the snap, actually making him do it to see if it would be louder and loud enough for the rest of the offense to hear.
Jackson, little pump fake. Lamar Jackson cutting it back in and trying to get something going with his legs.
Yeah, it's one of the few times that Houston's defense has not had great gap integrity up front. They allowed Lamar Jackson to get out of dodge. And maybe if you're Jackson now, you start to think to yourself, look, my first guy's not open right now. I'm taking off and getting what I can get.
Second and 8 for Louisville. Throw all the way across the field, just right through the hands of James Quick. That was a little high, but that one should have been caught. Here's your #1 offense in college football.
I was just going to say, if I told you, hey, this offense is averaging almost 50 points a game, this is what they've done so far. Poor execution, but again, I think you have to give Houston's defense a ton of credit because they are playing lights out.
Matt Oliver was not on the field for the first couple plays. Now he's back out there. Jackson on 3rd down, throws it low, hit the turf, incomplete. Incomplete. It's another 4th down.
Lamar Jackson has missed 2 throws now back to back. He's got to settle himself down. He knows it's on him. He's tapping his own chest. Missed James Quick earlier on the out throw. That time missing over the middle of the field. It all starts and ends with him, and it's critical that he keeps his spirits up because everybody on Louisville sidelines, they're going to be looking to their leader and see how he reacts and how he responds.
And right now, forget about making an argument to be in the top 4. They're trying to avoid a meltdown. Their best player in the first half has been their punter, Wilder. Hangs on to the ball, took a couple of hits at the 44-yard line. And it would be a fun job to be on the playoff committee, but they have their hands full this year. Catalan, another catch for him to midfield. Look, the Cardinals, after those playoff rankings came out, lots of their players, they were not happy about those rankings. We figured they would come out looking to make a statement, playing angry, trying to prove their point. Has not been the case so far tonight.
Well, they got to put their money where their mouth is. Now, listen, there's still a lot of game left here. And like we saw last week against Wake Forest, remember they went down 12-0 early and then exploded for 44 unanswered points. This offense is a ticking time bomb that can score and erupt. So they're not out of this game by any stretch.
That one was backwards, I think, and they're going to throw the ball. And a perfect delivery to Chance Allen. Off to the races. Touchdown. 50 yards, Linnell Bonner.
Major Applewhite, again, lulling you to sleep with the swing passes, adding wrinkles and explosive plays. How many times tonight have they looked at Duke Catalan out in the flats? Beautifully designed play. This time it's Linnell Bonner, wide receiver. Doing a nice job catching the lateral and just laying it out beautifully in front of Chance Allen, the Oregon transfer. Houston could not play better than what they're playing right now.
Fake punt conversion, the trick play with the high school quarterback Bonner. Just perfect with that delivery, another extra point. I mean, can you believe this? Tom saying, let's take our 31-point lead to the locker room. The odds are against Louisville. Alamo Bowl, though, I was there. It can happen. 31-0. My goodness. And Houston is going to get the ball at the start of the second half. Let's go down to Laura.
Thanks, Coach. How was their defense able to hold your offense scoreless?
Yeah, they're just doing a good job of bringing pressure. We're not doing a good job of protecting. We've had a couple plays there, and we keep making mistakes. So it's really, we got to quit making mistakes and having penalties and be able to block their pressure.
How has the noise impacted communication?
Yeah, I think it got us a little bit early, but we have to play in noise. That's what you have to do.
Thanks, Coach.
Now, Bobby Petrino obviously confused about what has happened to his fifth-ranked Cardinals. 31-0 Houston. Now time to send you to the studio. You're watching the American Conference on ESPN. And it's been a pretty good night so far for the American. Houston at home on senior night. Incredible against the fifth-ranked Cardinals, leading 31-0. Dave Fleming, Jesse Palmer back with you here. Okay, we said at the start, Jesse, that the committee had to be watching. Huge game for Louisville. In the middle of all that debate, Jeff Long even tweeted at us and said, yeah, we're all watching. They have to be as surprised as we are with what's going on.
No doubt about it. I think you have to give Houston a lot of credit, though, because everything that they're dialing up right now is working. Their coaching staff has put together a phenomenal game plan. And in all three facets of the game, they're having success. And Louisville, just way too many miscues early in this game. And now the big question, do they have enough in the tank to overcome all that? Good news, the Heisman Trophy frontrunner on the sideline, Lamar Jackson, still playing in this game.
And they're going to have to contend with that guy, Lamar Jackson, who statistically has had such a quiet game. Now, look, yeah, a lot of that has been the dominance on the front. Jackson just hasn't had a chance to make a lot of plays, but boy, do they need as many of them as he can give. In this second half, Houston will have the ball first. Louisville got the opening kickoff, immediately fumbled it. That kind of started it all. It's going to be a touchback. Just a few minutes ago, Laura Rutledge was with the Houston head coach Tom Herman.
Thanks. All right, Coach, tell me the truth. Did you see this coming?
Say it again. I'm sorry.
Did you see this coming?
Yeah, I did. I thought we had it in us. We're healthy again, and we're fresh. We're motivated. It's senior night. We're playing at home. But this is the most explosive offense in the country. They scored 34 points in the fourth quarter alone against Wake Forest last week. So we got to keep our foot on the throat.
How do you continue to contain Lamar Jackson?
Well, we got to wrap up when we get to him. We're doing a good job of pressuring him, getting him to move around. Now we got to make more tackles in space.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thanks to the coach, Greg Ward Jr. First play of the second half, incomplete.
This is the big challenge, I think, for Houston here is, can you maintain the intensity level you had in the first half, right? Came out with her hair on fire, everything working, crowd in the game. You know what happens? You go to the locker room, you've got this big cushy lead, you kind of sit down, it's quiet in the locker room. And can you come out and can you duplicate that effort here mentally in the second half?
Second and 10, a little pitch shovel type play, and well defended by the Cardinals.
You want to set the tone, obviously, if you're Louisville here early, right? On defense, they're huge onus. And you to get a stop, force a 3 and out, get the football back to Lamar Jackson. So nice job early here on this drive by D'Angelo Brown. The rest of this defense here setting the tone.
I mean, they're down 31 points, but it feels like a big play as they try to get something going here in the second half. And Tom Herman said it. They were explosive against Wake Forest. Now Houston in Wake Forest. So they can put up points in a hurry trying to get the ball back. Here comes the pressure. Ward goes down. And well, the whistle never blew. I guess he wasn't officially down. He will be out of bounds, well short of a first down.
I don't think he was down, Dave. I think Greg Ward fell right on top of Stacey Thomas. And his knee, elbow, his butt, nothing. It touched the ground. Watch this again. Stacey Thomas here wrapping him up. He kind of falls right on top of him and then was able to kind of keep his balance. Nonetheless, they are able to corral him out of bounds, and that's a good 3 and out to start that half.
Dane Roy from right near the goal line. Low punt. Alexander will watch it bounce, and it takes a Houston roll inside the 40 to the 36-yard line. Seems strange to say just in the first minutes of the third quarter, but Louisville's got to play with some tempo. Down this big, Lamar Jackson straight ahead, another Cardinals first down.
If you're Houston, make Lamar Jackson hand the football off. Don't worry about the running backs. This guy changes the game in a heartbeat. You see the outside fake here, just freezes the outside defender. That was Tyus Bowser, Nick Thurman, sorry, number 91. make sure number 8's the focal point. He cannot be the guy that has the hand in the ball. The ball in his hands.
Jackson flushed out, will throw on the move. He has a man wide open. So Louisville moving the ball here on their first possession of the second half, down to the 20. Another catch for Dawkins.
Yeah, and I like Louisville getting back to a little bit more up-tempo too, because the faster you go, the more difficult it is for Todd Orlando to get these blitz calls in, and you force Houston defensively now to have to play a little bit more vanilla.
Jackson with pressure coming, can't get away.
So many different guys that Todd Orlando can dial up to blitz. That time Stephen Taylor we've seen with pressure. Matthew Adams this time, number 9, coming right through the middle. And again, nobody even getting a hat on him for Louisville. Miscommunication, mental errors. It's been killing this Louisville offense.
As special as Jackson is, there's nothing he could do. Jackson zips one across the middle for a completion to the 15. Bonifant with the catch.
I like that idea, because a lot of the pressure coming from Houston has been the linebacker level over the middle of the field. So you attack where the pressure is coming from with a quick slant throw to your slot receiver Bonifant.
You got to figure Louisville's not kicking field goals down 31-0. It's 3rd and 6. They will fake it to Radcliffe. Jackson got popped and stopped short by 2, maybe 3 yards. As good as Ed Oliver's been, Stephen Taylor's been just as good.
Yeah, and Lamar Jackson, taking some punishment. You see here, trying to fall forward, trying to go get that first down. That's always dangerous. Back of the head to the defender, right into Stephen Taylor.
And they are going for it. Under center, they get it snapped quickly. Jackson on the move. He will lob one that's caught by Hicatini. Touchdown. Tremendous play by Jackson, because he was under big-time pressure.
And it was a really good play call, too, by Bobby Petrino, because they showed up in an unbalanced look with an extra offensive line to the left side of the formation. It looks like it's going to be a run this way, but you've got a tight end kind of sneaking out, and Hicatini on the backside. Little misdirection. You got the pulling guard there, Mahoney. That helps gives Jackson just enough time to flip that football off. There you go. You get a 3-and-out on defense. Ball gets back to Jackson in midfield. Get some of that momentum back.
We know how explosive they are. The game is not over. Extra point is good. Louisville, the highest scoring offense in college football. It took them a long while, but they're on the board. So Lamar Jackson on 4th down with the ball handling. I don't know. Matt Adams maybe even got a hand on this one. Did he tip it? It didn't matter. It was a touchdown, Louisville. Cardinals will kick it deep. And that's going to be a touchback for Houston. The head coach does the bed check himself. And that one is swatted down by Louisville. So the feeling in this game has changed just a little bit. We're still early in the second half. It was 31-0 at halftime. Houston. Cardinals on the board, and their defense trying to come up with another stop.
Yeah, you're right. Momentum starting to switch a little bit here. So there's added pressure now on Tom Herman here, Greg Ward Jr., quarterback, to generate a little something on offense. They've slowed the tempo way down. The energy right now looks like it's way down. They've got to pick that up.
And remember, it's a team that just has not been effective running the ball. So if you're looking for milking the clock, keeping the ball on the ground, that's not what Houston does. They will hand it off here. Catalyze straight ahead for a couple of yards.
That sets up another 3rd and long situation here for this Louisville defense that has been able to get pressure. Now remember, they're starting outside linebacker end James Hearns. He's hurt himself, so he's not out there in this package right now. They got some backups needing to step up. Devontae Fields, number 92, guy that had 3 sacks in their last game out against Wake Forest down here, needs to have an impact.
They are letting some clock wind down. On 3rd down, Ward downfield, incomplete. With contact, no flag thrown. So it'll be another 3-and-out for the Houston offense. Jair Alexander with the coverage.
Jair Alexander was working outside against Stephen Dunbar on the go route. There's a little bit of hand fighting, but I don't think enough to get that called. Another 3-and-out. by the Louisville D.
Alexander had that very interesting celebratory dance or strut or whatever you want to call it from last week against Wake Forest. This time a little more calm, but he is back to receive the punt. High, short. It's going to bounce and take a Louisville bounce this time. Cardinals are going to have really good field position, and Lamar Jackson and the offense finally got something going last time they had the ball.
Yeah, they did, and a little bit of it was the quarterback run play. They're able to run some zone read with Lamar Jackson between the tackles. We haven't seen Houston give up a lot of explosive runs. There's a big throw over the middle of the field to Bonifant to set up a 4th and short, and a really nice play call here by Bobby Petrino on an unbalanced look, sneaking out Picatinny, the star tight end, and now the crowd noise comes back into it here. I think they now start to feel a sense of urgency.
Well, that possession for Houston took only 48 seconds. Picatinny, tough guy football across midfield and out of bounds. So Louisville does lead on their defense to get it back.
Yeah, they got it back, and they got it back in the hands of Lamar Jackson. One thing we haven't seen a lot tonight is deep shots down the field. I think the biggest issue is that Lamar Jackson just hasn't had a lot of time. You see by his numbers, he's been under duress all game long. I think if I was this coaching staff, I would give one of my big receivers outside a shot.
That one tipped incomplete. It's just amazing how many times he does it. There's no defensive lineman who does that in college football like he does.
Yeah, and just come out of his stance, locate where the quarterback is, kind of see the 3-step drop and be able to leap up in the air and time it and have the eye-hand coordination to hit the ball.
A little pump fake. Jackson with Oliver in pursuit. Now cutting it back. Still looking downfield. Jackson lunges and gets it. Man, what an individual effort. How many yards did he run to get the 4 that they needed?
Yeah, he might have run 45 or 50 here on this play. And receivers did a poor job downfield of working their way open on a scramble drill. Lamar Jackson had to do that all by himself.
Jackson almost fell down, completed the handoff, and it's a big gain. Jeremy Smith down inside the 25 to the 21-yard line.
We talked about the strong side versus the quick side on the offensive line, and that time running outside behind the quick side, and their best puller, Keola Mahoney, right guard. Look at number 56, get out, get a great block on a linebacker, and that helps spring Jeremy Smith into the second level.
That was 22 yards on the ground. Jackson throws middle, incomplete. Maybe that one should have been caught by Jalen Smith, who's not having a great night.
I think he heard the footsteps running over the middle of the field into traffic. Lamar Jackson put that one right on him. In this kind of situation, down 31-7, obviously you can't afford any more of these miscues. False start penalties, drop passes. Your execution level has to be at a premium, no doubt, especially with that guy on the sidelines.
2nd and 10. Pressure. Jackson goes down again. Nick Thurman, the junior.
And they're trying to get their center, Hughley, to bail out from center right here and come out and set a wall against this. And you just can't get there fast enough. Too much speed off the edge, and it's just too much for a 295-pound center, not athletic enough to get there. They've tried different pass protection schemes. No matter what they're trying, it's not working. 8
sacks for Houston. Jackson over the middle, caught right near the first down mark. He had 2 receivers there. Samuel held onto the ball, and I think he got it.
Yeah, what a catch, too, by Travion Samuel, because this is an absolute laser over the middle of the field, thrown behind the sophomore receiver, 5'7", 170 pounds. Big-time play. They need more of those here on offense to get back in this game.
Little dude who plays big. 1st and goal, handoff. A yard maybe on 1st down. Now Louisville, they can't be casual with the clock. You're down 31-7. Every second is precious in this game.
Well, and you want to take advantage of Ed Oliver not being on the field.
Absolutely.
So try and maximize your snaps when Houston's best player and most dominant player isn't out there.
3rd quarter has been dominated by the Cardinals. But a long way to go. They were down 31-0 at the half. They do get this play snapped. Jackson looking end zone, nowhere to go with the ball. Now he's going to throw it away. Back toward the security guard again. And that final second of the quarter ticks off the clock. So that is going to be the final play of quarter number 3. That's a question. When can Ed Oliver get back in the game? Every other question has been answered positively so far for Houston. They lead 31-7. Start of the 4th quarter. The 3rd quarter dominated by the Cardinals in terms of everything, but on the scoreboard not as much dominance, just 7 points. And it goes without saying, as we start quarter number 4, they need to get in the end zone now. Lamar Jackson pressured again. He'll throw short, incomplete.
They just cannot solidify the inside of the offensive line. There's just way too many free rushers, and it's right in Lamar Jackson's face, and it's from speed and Stephen Taylor, who's been an outstanding blitzer all season long, and he can run. And it's hard for Lamar Jackson to get away from that. Now that forces the field goal try for Bobby Petrino. There won't be many more opportunities to kick field goals, I think, if you're Louisville.
Yeah,
you got to start going for 7.
I'm still surprised they're doing this. I mean, you got to feel for Lamar Jackson. The offensive line has just been overwhelmed. I got to make sure they also get this snapped. 26-yard try, and it is good. So they get points just 9 seconds into the 4th quarter, down by 3 touchdowns. Tom Herman happy with that stop.
You see Ed Oliver, he's getting his knee taped. He still finds the sky cam, though.
Yeah, that doesn't look like a cramp, by the way. So that he's got a smile on his face. I guess maybe that would tell you it can't be too bad. Maybe Laura's got some information on Ed.
Yeah, still trying to figure out what's going on with Ed, guys, but they have been working on his right knee. They've just put ice on it. And like you said, he seems to be feeling okay, but he still hasn't gotten up from off the bench.
Well, if he's feeling okay, Laura, you would assume this coaching staff wants to get him back in the game by the next possession. Disruptive as he's been, you get your best players on the field, certainly, because this game is not over.
No. I mean, if Houston does not score again in this game, it's definitely not over. Up by 21 with still 14:51 to go. Greg Ward Jr. will play fake it. Now he's going to keep it. Ward cuts to the outside, gets about 5 and goes out of bounds.
Tom Herman is going to allow his defense to win this game for him, because on offense they're really not trying. I mean, they're running the football. It's a bunch of short, easy screens, high percentage throws. They only ran 9 plays in that 3rd quarter, yet the defense still held Louisville to just 7 points. And that's a bold statement for any defense to say, hey, we're going to go win this game, especially when Lamar Jackson's on the other sidelines. But that's how much confidence Tom Herman has in his defense.
Part of that'll be milking the clock here. Stephen Dunbar, by the way, had to hobble off. So he comes to the Houston sideline, one of their top wide receivers. They snap it at 1. Ward going deep for Allen. Incomplete. Good coverage from Alexander. And that does stop the clock.
Yeah, good coverage. They've tried Jair Alexander deep a couple times in this game. But the young sophomore with 5 picks has done a great job staying in the pocket. You see he does a good job there of turning around and trying to locate the football. I think that helps the referee make a no call on that. Now another opportunity here for a 3rd down stop to get the football back for Louisville.
Every possession for Houston since halftime has been a 3 and out. Trying to avoid that here. 3rd and 5. Pressure picked up. Nice pass. Caught. 1st down.
You figure Louisville's down 21 points. That's 3 possessions to score touchdowns. And if Houston can just stay on the field, bleed the clock. There's Bonner in the slot. We talked about him being their biggest weapon on 3rd down. Nice job of separation. Helps move the sticks. And his tempo slows right down to a screeching halt. And I just expect Houston to run the ball, high percentage throws, keeping Lamar Jackson there on the bench.
That was a big play in this game. And on 1st down, catalyze, straight ahead running for a nice game.
You know, to be honest, if I'm the committee, I'm kind of watching this game. Even if Louisville were to come back and win to me, they're not passing the eye test, Dave.
Yeah, that's for sure. And you punt the ball away and give up a couple 1st downs. You give any chances were slim anyway, but Now it just doesn't feel like they've got a chance to come back and win.
Well, we know that they're already kind of behind the 8 ball with respect to the resume argument, right? With the strength of schedule, the fact they've already lost to Clemson head-to-head. They might not play in the ACC title game. So they would have had to come out tonight and dominate in all 3 facets and make an example of Houston, and that just hasn't happened.
Instead, they've been dominated. Kind of an option-style play. Ward gets the first down.
Ward needs to stay in bounds, do a better job of just bleeding this clock, and he knows it. He's played enough snaps. Even if it's just a couple of seconds you're saving, it all makes a big difference.
Yeah, the one thing when you go quick tempo and hustle to the line, it forces the officials to hustle the ball to the line. So that only cost them maybe 5-6 seconds. Because that clock is just running and running now.
Now, the other big question, too, here is not just how this game impacts Louisville in the playoff implication race, but what about Lamar Jackson's Heisman implications tonight with this kind of performance, if it holds up?
Well, to say he was the overwhelming favorite would be understating it. That's another good run. Dylan Burden this time for 8 more yards.
I don't think Lamar Jackson, let's just say they lose, and they lose 31-10. He's not losing the Heisman tonight, but I do think it opens up the competition for some of the other candidates. You said stranglehold. I mean, he certainly had that coming into tonight. I think it's a little bit more of a conversation now.
Ward ahead for a first down.
When you consider he's likely to just have one more game next week at home against Kentucky. There's a lot of other candidates out there, Jabril Peppers, Deshaun Watson, Jalen Hurts. These guys might have a 13th game in a conference championship game that is part of the evaluation by Heisman Trophy voters as well.
You know, the one thing for Louisville, because their conference season is over, which is kind of hard to believe with this one and another one next week, if Clemson were to be upset by Wake Forest, Louisville still goes to the ACC championship game despite what has happened here tonight, because this is a non-conference game. Catalyze again, and slipping through tackles, and you wonder whether Louisville's just kind of had enough in this game. I mean, their defense has played well since halftime. They haven't given up any points, but they look worn down. Every Louisville fan knows all the angst and the arguing and the man, we got robbed. We should have been in the top 4. It's out the window.
Yeah, and you can't say that this game kind of snuck up on them and it was an opponent that they didn't respect. I mean, they knew coming into this they were going to get Houston's A game. They knew how big of a game this was for Houston. Most importantly, they knew how big it was for them in the playoff discussion in that argument.
High snap. Ward does a good job and then somehow gets the throw. I get a pretty good throw. It's incomplete.
Yeah, that was Tom Herman and holding his breath twice on this play, because this could have been double disaster. This snap might go over Greg Ward's head, get scooped up by a defender, return for a touchdown. This throw, dangerous, laid outside. The slot defender there in D. Smith. Yeah, ball security here, it goes without saying, very important for Houston trying to ice this one.
3rd and 4, just over 6 minutes to go. So this drive, you punt the ball away with 9 minutes to go essentially, and this drive maybe has had Louisville watch their chances of winning go away. That one is caught but out of bounds. Isaiah Johnson, great effort, couldn't get the foot down.
I think his right foot came down on the white line. You're going to watch him here do a great job of high pointing this. Watch the right foot as it comes down. Yeah, right on the sidelines, out of bounds. Good call.
Now this is interesting. They are, one last look, clearly out of bounds. They're going to try to kick a field goal.
You make it now a 24-point game, so you have to score 3 touchdowns and 3 two-point conversions. Make it more difficult.
Yeah, you just kind of worry about the disaster play, a block kick, something like that. This would match a career long for Ty Cummings. No block, and the kick is good. So no disaster. Tom Herman knows that might have been the one to do it. He can yell all he wants. It's not been the Cardinals' night. 34-10. A lot of juice on the sideline for the Cougars all game long. What a performance. The 5th ranked team of the country has been dominated. 34-10 after the field goal. Maybe a touchback, 5 to go. 13 penalties, 99 yards. Jackson airing it out into coverage. It's out of bounds.
They just haven't done that enough. I think one thing they'll regret when they go back and watch the film, they didn't take enough deep shots down the field. And certainly the pressure for Houston made that very difficult. With Lamar Jackson's scrambling ability and his arm strength, I think that was an aspect that was missing in this offense tonight for the Cardinals.
Second down. It'll be another sack for Stephen Taylor.
Free rusher Garrett Davis, number 1, comes in, forces the step up. Stephen Taylor just having a monster night. Nobody blocking the second level all night long. Todd Orlando calling plays defensively for Houston. He's left Cardinal fans, he's left this Cardinal offense in a state of bewilderment.
10 sacks. Stephen Taylor's had 3 of them. Lamar Jackson in the pocket will throw short middle. A penalty flag thrown, so this one's going to be coming back. Or maybe not. Maybe they'll just let the play stand and make it 4th down. We'll see. I think they wanted to come back. Yeah, that's against you, Cardinals.
And it's Khalil Hunter, the same guy that just fell down in his stance.
Holding number 50 of the offense. 10-yard penalty, 3rd down.
It's the worst game I can ever remember for an offensive line.
Yeah, I mean, they've been exposed a little bit. Clemson has a very athletic, very active front that gave them issues all game long. Houston does as well. Which kind of begs the question, you know, if Louisville were to have gone to the playoff and played against an Alabama with that front 7, or Michigan with their front 7, or Clemson again with their front 7, would it really have made a difference?
Yeah, we always sort of thought that Jackson could be the difference maker himself, that he could just do it himself. But based on this, I don't know if their line was up to the task. I'm not trying to pick on their college kids, but it has been rough. And once again, and Jackson just heaved that one up. Now that is a possibility for grounding in the end zone and a safety. They're talking about it. I don't know if he was out of the tackle box. It definitely didn't get back to the line of scrimmage, I don't think.
I thought he got outside. Barely.
I might be with you. They're throwing the flag, though.
Intentional grounding on the offense. Because the penalty occurred in the end zone, the result of the play is a safety.
What can you say about this effort defensively for the Houston Cougars against Lamar Jackson?
Yep.
10 sacks, and you just now forced a safety because of the pass rush. You never could have dreamed up this scenario. And look at Lamar Jackson. I mean, what do you want me to do? Nobody's come close to affecting number 8 as much as this Houston defense has tonight.
I think actually they do also get credit for their 11th sack. I think you get credit for a sack there.
Unbelievable. I know that we came into this game kind of thinking this was a platform for Louisville to state their case as a playoff contender. This has become a platform for Houston to state their case as selection committee. If chaos happens and Navy loses 2 games, Houston ends up winning the American, they should be the team, the group of 5 participant that goes to a New Year's Six bowl.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit. You have to win your conference. The group of 5 representative must be a conference champion, as Houston was last year, and they were the team that got picked. And then they went and beat Florida State in the Peach Bowl and made it look like a really good decision. So they need help because they lose the tiebreaker as well. They need Navy to lose both games. If that were to happen and Houston were to beat Memphis next week, then they would play for the American Championship. If they win that game, I mean, Western Michigan undefeated, Boise State, whatever. Houston's beaten Oklahoma top 5, Louisville top 5.
And the only team in the country that say they did that. And to beat the top 5 team the way they did here tonight, this has been about as big a statement win, I think, as we've seen all year.
Let's repeat what you just said. They are now the first team to have 2 top 5 wins this season. Houston, they're the only team that's done it. Not Alabama, not anybody. The free kick after the safety. And they will take a knee smartly. Now the thing about, we mentioned this a minute ago, this is a non-conference game, so for Louisville this has everything to do with the playoff, nothing to do with the ACC. If Clemson were to lose, and I think it's been since 1946 that Wake Forest beat a top 10 team, so the odds aren't great, but Wake is a pretty good team this year. If Clemson were to be much improved, if something weird were to happen in Winston-Salem, then Louisville would still get to go and play for the ACC championship. So they're rooting for the Demon Deacons big time. Well, and speaking of the Broyles Award, since you brought it up, we did hear some news that Coach Broyles is not doing well health-wise, and we're thinking about him and his family. One of the greats in college football, and very fitting that that award is named after him, the top assistant in college football. Tom Herman has been a Broyles Award winner in his career. And now they're planning for the celebration. We saw the state trooper on the sideline with Tom Herman. I think the reality there is, okay, the students are coming. Where are we going to protect you, Coach?
Laura, did you hear that? Get ready down there.
Yeah. Laura Rutledge, you're in that mix too. She might not be able to hear.
Uh-oh, guys.
Yeah,
here it
ready.
Comes.
Get ready. We want you to be safe. And how about the senior night for Greg Ward? What'd you give him? The Warrior of the Year in college football?
And I think you got to give him credit. And what about the rest of the other 15 seniors for Houston? For this to be your last game, here playing at home, here at TD-ECU Stadium, this big of a matchup and have this result. These are memories these seniors are going to remember for the rest of their lives.
And that's going to do it. They've had a lot of great players in the history of this program. This is the winningest senior class in Houston football history. Still 10 seconds to go, but the students are on their way out. And Bobby Petrino and Louisville have to know that their playoff hopes are on their way out as well. A final score. Look, we knew Houston had a chance to win this game. I don't think anybody thought that this kind of domination was possible against Lamar Jackson and the Cardinals. 36-10, the final score. And down there trying to stay safe, there's Laura.
All right, thank you, Dave. Coach, what is it about your team that performs so well when they're an underdog?
Well, we got a chip on our shoulder bigger than probably anybody in America. We train so hard, and when we're fresh and we're healthy, we can play with anybody in the country.
Your defense was able to contain Lamar Jackson the way nobody has in the country. What made the difference?
We stayed aggressive, we got turnovers, and our kids play so hard. They play so hard for the love of the guy next to them and for the love of their coaches.
You're the first team in the country to beat 2 top 5 opponents. A lot can still happen in this season. What do you think you showed the committee that could affect you in the postseason?
I don't know. We're going to celebrate this one and get ready for a really good Memphis team on the road.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Focus on the next one, and now the focus keeping Laura, keeping Coach Herman, keeping everybody down there safe on a night where Louisville's playoff hopes probably have vanished in front of a sellout crowd on senior night in Houston. 36-10, the final score. The celebration is on for Jesse Palmer. For Laura Rutledge, Dave Fleming saying so long from Houston. Sports Center coming up next.